Just trying to see if anyone's in. There's 8 people connected. Hi, everyone. Cool. We might just give another minute before we start off, Anil.
Yeah, let's give it a minute and then we can jump right in.
Cool. I keep noticing Mihir is trying to join us, but for some reason he's losing his video all the time. That's all right. Anyways, I think we'll kick off then, Anil.
Yeah, let's get started.
Cool. All right. Well, hello everyone. Thanks for taking your evening, taking some time in your evening to come join us today. We're doing some pretty cool stuff at Revise. This webinar, as you might know, is about NFT ticketing. So we're talking about number one, how tickets can be in the form of NFTs and what the advantages, disadvantages are, as well as how they can be dynamic tickets because that is to claim in mainstream. So let's make it cool, right? And the I guess the broad agenda for today is first an introduction to ourselves, Anil and myself, as well as Revise. And then we're going to be doing a bit of a code walkthrough. And we're actually going to be minting a dynamic NFT ticket, and we're going to make it switch around due to certain conditions. After that, we'll have some time for questions and just general discussions and chit chats. So yeah, that's us. Anil, do you want to start by introducing yourself?
Absolutely. Hey everyone, good evening, good morning, depending on where you are. I'm Anil. I look after engineering and product at Revise. At Revise, we believe NFTs are larger than JPEGs. We feel like they are more on the application layer, and there's just so much we can do with it. So at Revise, we're building a JavaScript platform that allows you to hook data and real life events into your NFTs so as to make them more interactive and more engaging. Uh, so today, I think we'll take a look at one of the use cases that you could build using Revise, but more importantly, how NFTs can add value in sort of in a utilitarian sense beyond just being a collectible. Ticketing is easily one of the easiest ways to wrap your head around what can be achieved using NFTs. We'll take a quick look at that. I think Akash is having technical issues. Let's give him a minute.
Sorry, no, I briefly lost connection over there. I think my Wi-Fi is giving me a bit of apologies. Anil, can you just confirm if you can hear it?
Yeah, Akash, I can hear you again. Yeah, so we were just telling everybody a little bit about what we do at Revise. Uh, I think we can get started now. Before we get started with today's session, just wanted to take a couple of minutes to talk about how we intend to conduct this webinar. We'll keep posting a few polls through the webinar just to get to know you better so we can sort of tailor the content. If you have questions, please feel free to post it immediately. You don't have to wait till the end of the session. We will pull those questions into conversation as and when the timing is right. And towards the end, we'll reserve some time for 101s, and we're more than happy to have you come on board and just have a conversation with us. Akash will demonstrate the code base. He'll walk you through how you can end up building this use case. It's not going to be full stack. It's actually going to be sort of just the backend scripting of how you can get this done. We intend to cover a more full stack approach to building these use cases in the near future, maybe the next webinar.
Cool.
So Akash has also shared a link in chat. It's a technical guide to what Akash will be describing in the webinar today. Guys could take a look at that and follow along.
Yeah, cool. I will share my screen and start going through the code walkthrough now. I'll share screen. Great. Just let me know if you can see my screen. I've had to kind of split screen because one of my secondary screens isn't working as effectively. So a document. I know the document is not public. Is there any chance while I'm doing the code walkthrough, you can make that public or share it another way?
I'll get it done.
Okay, cool. Oh, I think my hair is on top of it. Perfect. Okay. So to get the boilerplate code, basically start off by putting this GitHub repository. So the GitHub repository is nothing but just gives a boilerplate and sets up Revise on your machine. Revise gets set up in a very simple way. All you got to just do is an npm install. After you clone this, do an npm install, and you basically have the template code ready. The next thing once we've cloned the repository, there are a few things that we need to get from the Revise app dashboard. One of them is the authorization token. So just to quickly show you where you can get that, you just go into the Revise dashboard, which is app.revise.network. All of this is available. And if you just go generate API key on the top, you will be able to generate an API key. You'll have this. You can copy and paste this. This is a one-time. It's only shown one time, so please copy it and save it somewhere safe. We don't actually store your API keys for you, and that's also from a security standpoint. That's just from a security standpoint. Anyways, once you've gotten your auth token, you can put your auth token over here, and really the next thing we do is we first create within our run function. This bit over here, all of this is within our run function. The first thing we do is we add a collection. So
Akash, can you put your editor on full screen? I think the font is a little bit tiny.
Yeah.
That should help it.
1 second. Cool. Yeah, that's fine. I'll just switch around. Is it better now? Okay, I'm hoping it's better now. So just going back to it, the first thing we do is we define an object. All the code and all the code snippets are already part of the article. So we do this using the revise function called add collection. For every collection, we pass it a name in URI. And for the URI, no special characters are allowed. So no underscores, no hyphens, slashes, exclamations. Just something simple like my concert tickets one works. And for the name, you can have my concert tickets. I've put a Z over here just because I already did one with S. So I'm just trying to make it unique this time. This has to be unique. And then once you have this, the code for the collection, the next thing we can do is we can add an NFT to that collection. So that's exactly what we're doing over here. We've made a mock image that all of you can use. And each NFT, we can pass certain metadata properties. So for example, what the name of the NFT is, what the token ID is. So we're just saying this is ticket number 1 effectively by saying token ID equals 1. Token ID is 1. A description, and then you can pass it certain properties. Like for example, this NFT has 10 points. It's of general category. That you're allowed to get refreshments from it, and the seating is in a general area, and whether the ticket has been used. In this case, it's currently a no. So you can choose to pass other parameters within here as well, but this is just the base example that we're going with. So once you've done this, you can just basically save it, and what we're going to do is we are just going to run our index.js file. And as soon as we run it, we get an ID. This is the NFT ID. So this is the ID of the NFT that you've just minted. This is important. We'll be using this for the rest of our exercise. But before we get into anything else, we're just gonna go and look at our Revise app dashboard, and we're gonna see the NFT we've just minted. I just go back over here. So just going back to app.revise.network. And if we look at this one here, my concert tickets on 17th November. If we view that one, you can effectively see all the revisions that have happened to this NFT. You can see that we have now just minted our NFT ticket for Revise Palooza, and you can see all the parameters and the metadata properties that we pass along with it, right? So for example, the seat being in general area, the points being 10, all that kind of stuff. As we go along, you'll see that any revisions you make to this NFT will all get logged over here. So going back, now that we have this, what we're going to do is we are going to copy this ID. And the next part of the exercise involves just creating another file called update.js. I've already gone ahead and done this just to make our lives a bit easier. The template structure for update.js is the same. It will require the same first 4 lines as the previous, or as index.js, with the same auth token, and you just have to have a run function that's prepared. Now, within this run function, the first thing we're going to do is, I'm just going to go over here. We'll just go through the article as we talk along this because it'll be easier for everyone. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to upgrade our tickets using points, right? So as you saw when we minted our ticket, we gave it 10 points. And with these 10 points, let's just say that using the 10 points, you can now upgrade, or using 5 points, you can upgrade to a VIP ticket. And who doesn't want that? So we are going to be upgrading our NFT to a VIP ticket, and we're going to see how Revise handles this and how things change. So in a very simple sense, I'm just going to copy all this bit of code over here. I'll walk you through the code in a second. Just paste it over here, and the one difference, so we need to put in the NFT ID, which is this ID over here. I'm just going to copy that, and oops, I'm going to paste that there. So what we're doing to make any updates to our metadata or to our NFT is, number one, we are using the Revise fetch NFT function. This goes and fetches the NFT with this ID. The next thing we do is we use a set of, again, Revise functions to reset the properties, or not reset, rather change the properties. So the first thing we're doing is we're setting the property of points to 5 because 5 of the points are being consumed to upgrade our NFT to VIP. Next thing we're doing is setting the category property to a VIP, and this means the ticket holder is now eligible to a VIP seat. Also, a VIP ticket looks different to a general ticket. So we're setting an image and we're saving this. And finally, we're just console.logging to ensure that the code has worked. So I'll just go ahead and save this and run this. Cool. So that looked like it worked perfectly. Now to check this, what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our Revise dashboard. As you can see, at the moment, it's still 1 revision, but if I just refresh this page, one second. I'll talk a bit louder. So I'm just looking at the comments now, and I'm seeing some of the other things that have been said. Zoom a bit, Akash. Sure, I will zoom in a bit more. And can you please speak a bit more loudly? Yes, I will do that as well. Thank you for letting me know. That's very helpful. So as you can see, we have dynamically changed. We've applied the first dynamic change to our NFT. We've moved it from general to, we've upgraded it from general to VIP, which meant we had to consume 5 of our points. So now, rather than having 10 points, we now have 5 points. Our category and our seat has been updated to VIP. And the image of our ticket has also been updated to VIP. also the revisions of you can also see the revisions that have happened over here. Now, the next thing we do is let's say that you have the person that's holding this NFT ticket has attended the event, attended the concert, the event, and basically because you have successfully attended the event, you get 50 more points, and those 50 points can then be used towards getting merchandise or getting exclusive access to, I don't know, backstage access to some of your famous artists or whatever. The points can be used in so many different ways. So what we're going to do is we are now going to run the second bit of dynamic code, which is just about adding 50 more points and setting the use property to yes. So this effectively means that the ticket's been used, right? So I'm just going to go to here. Okay, so you can just delete the existing code in update.js within the run function, and you can just paste that back. I should have probably not deleted everything. That's fine. Perfect. So again, pretty straightforward. Save, and I'm just going to run that again. So this is our third revision. Just going back to it, you can now see that we should have 50 points. The image should still be the same. And we have our third revision. So now we have 3 revisions, 50 points, and now that's exactly what we wanted. So going back here. Now the last part is we're now going to use the new points that we've just gained, which is the 50 points, and we're going to claim either a t-shirt, a mouse pad, or a concert banner. So which one would you guys want to pick? The t-shirt costs 35 points, mouse pad is 25, and the banner is 40. Whoever answers gets first pick on what we do. T-shirt, all right, Anil, that was quick. I don't think Anil should be the one picking it, but all right, we'll take it. So effectively, once again, we're going to take the same thing. We'll just copy this part now. And just go back over here. It's going to delete this. Perfect. And what I'm going to do over here is it's going to be 50 minus 35. So it's going to be 15. So what we're saying is, oops, 1 second. Yeah, sorry. So what we're saying is we're using up 35 of our points, and we now will now have 15 points remaining. We also want to set the image to show that this ticket has already claimed a specific gift or specific thing from the event. So we'll just save that, and we'll run it again to our fourth and final revision. Yeah. Great. Okay. So let's just go have a look over here. And this should be our fourth revision with the claimed sticker on it. There we go. So now we've kind of gone through the full life cycle of the event. We've allowed the user to claim, using their points, a t-shirt that will then get sent out to them, or they can claim on the spot at the event. And we have our 4 revisions, and we have 15 points left. So that, in a nutshell, concludes the dynamic NFT element and the use case we were trying to kind of show today. Yeah.
Akash, you want to leave your screen on, as in keep the screen sharing on? I think there are a couple of points I wanted to quickly touch over. So if you observe the code that Akash has used here, you will notice most of it is just basic JavaScript, and this is available as an npm package, which means you can insert this into your existing setup. So whether you're using Express.js to build out an API backend, or you're using Fastify, or you're deploying it straight to Vercel as an edge function, it doesn't matter. You could just include Revise SDK within your package, and you can start building a bunch of NFT functionality into your application. So whenever you do add NFTs via the Revise SDK, you're lazy minting it. You're minting it within the Revise network, and you can bridge it over to any L1 or L2 that runs over the EVM pretty much instantly. We have a guide put out on how you can do that and how you can publish it to OpenSea. But once you do mint your NFT using Revise, you're able to entirely control the properties of that NFT, and more importantly, do that programmatically. So you are able to now insert a bunch of that functionality into your existing APIs. You can almost think of the Revise SDK as an ORM. So if you've used Mongoose in the past, or if you've used SQLize or Prisma, you know how an ORM fits in between your code and between the database, and it lets you effectively model your application sort of using either functional or object oriented standards, but without having to necessarily write any underlying SQL. In a very similar fashion, you could use the Revise SDK to deal with your NFTs. But the most important part is every single time you made an update to the NFT, instead of overwriting any data, your data gets appended, and the new version of your NFT, while it maintains the latest revision, it also keeps a track of every other state the NFT has been in, and for each state, there is a cryptographic proof as well. So we use an optimized version of zero knowledge proofs. And the root hash of this proof you can deploy across any blockchain, L1 or L2. So your end community can go and verify that the NFT has not been tampered with themselves. They don't have to trust the developer for it. They can just go and verify it themselves across any L1 or L2. In fact, that'll make for an interesting demo. It's something we'll probably do the next time around.
Thanks, Anil.
Awesome. Yeah. So there are a couple of things I wanted to talk about, like the use case in general. I feel like ticketing and NFTs is really beginning to pick up. There are so many platforms that are doing it. I think a couple of my favorite ones, there's this new protocol called DeFi Tickets, which has done a pretty cool job. I think their focus is on secondary markets. I think a couple of reasons why you would want to issue your tickets as NFT is you want to enable a verified and sort of a functioning secondary market for these tickets. You don't want people to snipe these tickets and then unreasonably hike the prices. You want it to be fair. So fair secondary markets is one good use case. Another one is most people do save their ticket stubs, especially if it's an event they care about. Memorabilia is a huge part of the whole experience, and having your ticket as an NFT grants you the privilege to own that moment in time. And I think that's really special. There are a bunch more platforms that are doing interesting stuff here as well. There's another protocol called Ticket Mint or Events, which is doing interesting stuff. The idea here is to prevent ticket fraud, because each of these NFT based tickets can be verified individually, and it can only admit one person. Like you can't like take a Xerox of it and like try and sneak in again. So a bunch of cool things happening there. There is a bunch more happening on the core protocol level as well. So consumable ERC 721s is a big thing that's moving forward now. And the idea is exactly what Akash demonstrated, which is there a way for you to own the NFT and to use it and to consume some of its properties in order to redeem experiences that are unique to the collectors of these NFTs.
Yeah, it's on the topic of fraud, Anil. I had a friend who wanted to really watch Nadal play, and he traveled all the way from New Zealand to France to watch uh, one of the opens, and only when he reached there did he find out that the ticket he had bought online was fake, and he lost so much
Oh,
money. Yeah,
that
and
sucks.
and I was just having a conversation with him about how NFT tickets can fit and fix that problem, and he was just like, "Please do it, please do it." But the thing is, there are actually quite a few players already in the market that are looking into this and actively selling it. Um, so yeah,
Yeah, I mean, your friend lost a lot of money, but more importantly, he lost out on a valuable life experience, right? That's not something he could replicate again. Uh, and NFTs fit in really well to this ecosystem because, by the very definition of an NFT, it's a unique collectible that has ownership pre-assigned, and it's
Yeah,
extremely easy to verify it. And once consumed, it's very easy to keep track of that process and help prevent double discounting of sorts.
exactly. And it also gives artists a whole different way to interact with their
Yeah,
even
absolutely.
imagine even thinking about like let's say I don't know you go to let's say you go to concert, right? Let's say they run a concert and you enjoy you bought an NFT ticket. Later on, they want to release an album, and all profits from the album they want to be paid amongst the people that entered their last concert or something like that. You know, the fact that they can actually tangibly do that now using NFTs is just so powerful. Obviously, it hasn't been made mainstream to that extent yet, but hey, one can dream.
Yeah, absolutely. Like on this simplest level, it's probably improvement in user experience and like fraud. But on a more complex level, it connects so many other aspects like of a gated community, of unlocking real life experiences, being able to connect the digital and the physical world in a way where you couldn't have done it before, in a very open way. It should be extremely exciting. Really looking forward to seeing more concerts pick this up. I just booked tickets for Lollapalooza and it was such a pain, just the whole process of it, and the fact that the tickets are going to be delivered to my house like physically, that makes no sense. But yeah, this is going to change very quickly in the future.
Yeah. You know, but also, I guess a question for you, Anil, is what are your thoughts in terms of, let's say, an NFT ticket is the way ticketing is given. Most people are using things like, you know, their Apple Wallet to store tickets, or an email or a PDF or something. You know, like how mainstream would it be for people to actually log into MetaMask just to show their NFT ticket?
Token gating is a big challenge in itself. It's just a piece of technology, so it's going to go through its early adopter challenges.
Mm.
Kind of like, when Apple put out Apple Maps, like way back during iOS 7, was it? It was absolutely horrendous, primarily because it just didn't have enough data. That was their onboarding challenge. I think for NFTs, token gating is the onboarding challenge. Like, in order for that experience to improve, you need players who come in and build those front end experiences. Like for users, they build apps and sort of web apps that are simple and fun to use. Uh, but I think that's going to happen. I mean, iOS has already allowed NFTs within the Play Store, within the games as digital collectibles, and that's a big step. And the iOS SDK ecosystem is so tight. If it's allowed as a consumable within an app, it's not too far away for it to be a card in the Apple Wallet as well. So I think
Yeah,
that could actually be an interesting thing that we might see come out like really soon. And when adoption starts happening on that front, it just cascades.
correct. Yeah, no, completely agree, man.
Awesome. So I guess there are a couple of things for us to talk about. One is what we can do to make this webinar experience better. It'd be great if we can get some feedback from people attending. And two is if there's any questions they'd like to talk about, or if there's any topic in general they want to talk about in the NFT space, recent news, uh, feel free to hop on and we can have a quick discussion. And if there is none, then we can wrap it up for the day.
Just ping us on chat or request to um, talk and I can bring you up.
Is there a roadblock you're facing with regards to NFT development? Is there a cool tool you've tried out and you want to talk about? Uh, we're more than happy to discuss a bunch of these stuff. We're just a bunch of like devs who love building and are always eager to try out new tools, to figure out best practices. We're super happy to talk about any of those things. Awesome. So, in the interest of time, I think we'll call it a wrap for the day. If you guys have any further questions or any topics you want to discuss, you can ping Akash or me or anyone from the Revise team on Twitter, via email. You can mail all of us our first name at the rate revise.network. You can reach out to Akash, you can reach out to me, you can reach out to Mihir. Alternatively, you could also message us on Twitter. I think Akash will share the Twitter handles as well in the chat.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
We can
Anil.
continue this conversation later.